Welcome to the channel. In this video, I will discuss the part 4 of the Science and Technology series for the month of May 2020. If you haven't seen the previous parts, kindly watch them. Links are given in the description section below, or else you can also find them in the I section above. Kindly watch the full video to have a better understanding about the topics. So let's begin. So next is the GI tags that are in news in the month of May. First is Kashmir saffron, which got the GI tag recently. Now Kashmir saffron is a world-renowned spice, and it is grown in the region of Pulwama, Kishtwar, Budgam, Srinagar region, and it is cultivated and harvested in the Karewa highlands of Kashmir region in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, it is the only saffron in the world that is grown at an altitude of 1600 meters, which adds to its uniqueness and differentiates it from other saffron varieties available in the world. Now, saffron which is cultivated in Kashmir is a long, thick, and has a natural deep red color, and it is also having high aroma and is processed without any chemicals, and it is also used in the cosmetics, and it has medicinal purpose. It rejuvenates health and traditional Kashmiri cuisine and represents a rich cultural heritage. So it is also having some cultural heritage as well in the region of Kashmir. And it is also having high quantity of crocin, which is adding to its coloring strength, saffronol, which is adding to its flavor, and picrocrocin, which is adding to its bitterness. So these are some of the chemicals that are already inbuilt in the Kashmiri saffron. Now a quick fact is that Iran is the largest producer of saffron in the world. Now basically the Kashmiri saffron is of three different types. One is the Lacha saffron, and another is the Mongra saffron, and another is Gucci saffron. Now these all in the Lacha saffron, the saffron, once cultivated and harvested, it is dried and processed without chemicals, and it is then loosely packed. It is loosely packed in an airtight container. Okay, and the Mongra saffron is detached from the flower and dried in the sun and processed traditionally. And in the Gucci saffron, it is similar to the Lacha saffron. The only difference is that it is put in a box, and it is bundled. It is bundled and tied with strings. So next product which gets the GI tag is a Manipuri black rice, and this rice is also having the name of Chakhao, which is local name, and it is cultivated in Manipur. The Chakhao rice is cultivated by traditional methods, either by direct sowing of the soaked rice, or by the transplantation of the small seedlings. Now these are eaten during the festivals and used in preparation of the Chakhao kheer during the festival times, as you can see it here. And this is the black rice, and this rice is having some unique characteristics like high crude fiber content and presence of fibrous bran layer over it, which is giving the qualities to this type of black rice. The next product to get the GI tag is Gorakhpur terracotta. Now this is a traditional art form, the old traditional art form, and it is old, centuries old. The potters make various animal figures like horses, elephants, camel, goat, ox, etc. with a hand orientation or hand ornamentation. Major crafts are Howdah elephants or the war elephants, the Mahavadar horses, deer, camel, five-faced Ganesha, single-faced Ganesha, elephant table, chandeliers, and hanging bells. These are the different type of crafts that are made with with a special clay called the Kabis clay. This Kabis clay is found in a specific region in the ponds in the Gorakhpur region, ponds of Gorakhpur region. That too during the month of April, May. And during these months, there is a dry season, so that in this time the clay is available. During other time the ponds are filled with water. And also one unique characteristics is that the potters use mango tree barks and soda for the coloring purposes of this terracotta, so that the red color in it will remain for a longer period of time, as you can see here in this photo. Now next product to get GI tag is sweet, a food stuff. This is a peanut candy, and this is originated in Kovilapatti region of Thothukudi district in Tamil Nadu. This is basically a peanut candy which is used by which is made by groundnuts and organic jaggery. The groundnuts are grown in the native black soil of this region, Kovilapatti, and the water which is used to make this is from the river called Thamira Barani, and this is a unique. This gives a unique flavor to this particular sweet. So let's learn something about the GI tags. Now, the GI tags are basically name or the sign given to certain products which is belonging to a specific geographical location, and the reputation of the products is just because of its geographical origin. That means the origin is playing the major role in this GI tags, and it is regarded as a certification, and it is produced as per the traditional methods with specific qualities of the product is maintained, and the GI tags are mainly issued for wine, spirit drinks, foodstuffs, then agricultural products, handicrafts, and industrial products. And this is a part of the IPR, that is the intellectual property right. Once it is issued, the intellectual property rights were owned by the sellers of the specific region, which is covered under the Paris Convention. Now, at the international level, the World Trade Organization agreement on the trade related aspects on the intellectual property rights, or popularly called the TRIPS, is guaranteeing the product's authenticity in the international level. Now in India, the Geographical Indications of Goods Registration and Protection Act of 1999, which is issued by the Geographical Indications Registry in Chennai, this office will give the GI tag to the specific products. Now the first product to get GI tag in our country is Darjeeling tea, which got it in a year of 2004 or 5. So what are the benefits of GI tag? It basically provides legal protection to the products, thereby preventing the unauthorized selling of the products by fake sellers, and the geographic indication in India particularly promotes the economic prosperity to the particular region where it is developing. Now it is also boosting exports there of the traditional products which are produced mainly by the rural communities. Thereby, they are getting also recognized in the rural or in the international platform. So these are the benefits of the GI tag. So the next news is all about Eventbolt malware. Now recently the Computer Emergency Response Team, or in short CERT, CERT-in of India issued a warning against a new malware which is developing, and it is called Eventbolt. Now the dangerous thing about the malware is that it steals personal financial information from the Android phone users. Now what kind of malware is this? Basically, Eventbolt is a mobile banking Trojan virus, Trojans, and it's an info seeker that abuses Android's built-in security system, Android's built-in accessibility features to steal the personal data, such as the financial applications, and it can also read the SMS messages. It can intercept SMS service. It can also bypass the two-way authentication or two-factor authentication, and it is capable of targeting more than 200 different financial applications in the mobile, Android mobile, such as PayPal, HSBC, UniCredit, Coinbase, TransferWise. These are the different 200 such applications can be targeted by this particular malware. And this the tricky part about the Trojan is that the Eventbolt is that it is seen to be a trusted application to the OS. Trusted application means the OS generally identifies these particular application to be trusted, and so it takes no action. So it is very dangerous. Now the CERT-in it operates under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, or in short MeitY, and it is established in 2004, and it is a nodal agency in India which deals with the hacking, cyber security, and it reports the vulnerabilities, phishing attacks, etc. It also issues guidelines about the vulnerability notes. It issues advisories regarding the information security practices, many information security breaches, and the prevention and procedures also. And it also responds and reports the cyber security incidents. And security incidents report on the vulnerabilities, promote the effective IT security practice in our country. Now, what are the important terms related to this computer viruses or malwares? First is a malware. This is any kind of software which is intentionally designed to cause damage to a computer, server, client, or a computer network itself. The types of malwares can be viruses, worms, Trojan horses, ransomware, spywares, adware, rogue softwares, and scareware. So this is a wide variety of malwares. Now next are the Trojans. Trojans generally misleads the users of its true intent. Generally the users don't know about the programs of Trojan, and they simply download, and what it does is very scary. It's spread by some form of social engineering like an email attachment, and by clicking on some fake advertisement on the websites or social media. Generally they do not inject themselves. Generally the users click on this program, and then only the files or the systems get infected, and in modern forms they are using as a backdoor. That means they are creating a backdoor to the system by which they can create unauthorized access and users access users personal information such as banking data, passwords, personal identity, and it can also delete users files or infect other devices as well. The ransomware attacks which were in news last few years, these are also a type of Trojan. Next, see the let's know about virus. The virus is simply a computer program which, when executed, replicates itself by modifying into computer programs and inserting its own code. And if the replication process is succeeded, the affected areas are said to be infected by a virus. That is how the viruses infect the computer. Next, spyware. This is a specific type of malware which aims to monitor the user's activities without their consent, and they try to hack into another entity without the consumer's consent and send some confidential information to another entity, which can control the consumers through the cookies. Now cookies are simply the files or temporary files which are stored in the computer, and the cookie information is copied is taken by the spywares, and they are sent to the different another entity. Next, what is worm? Worm is basically a standalone malware program that replicates itself. So it is fastly replicates itself into the computer itself first, and then it can easily spread through the network, and uses a computer network to spread. Basically, suppose say if any computer or if any USB device is infected by a worm, then if we put that USB device into another computer, then this worm is getting spread using its network, then from that computer to another computer, and like that. So this worm quickly replicates itself to different systems, but it is less harmful. It generally consumes bandwidth in some cases, whereas the virus almost always corrupt or modify the files of a targeted programs. Now let's know what is phishing. It is a fraudulent attempt basically to obtain sensitive information such as username, passwords, credit card details by disguising as a trustworthy entity in an electronic communication. So generally we heard the terms of phishing attacks. So phishing attacks is nothing but the attacks in which the hackers or the other entity will seek the usernames, will get the username, password, credit card details, and it is always disguising as a trustworthy entity. Means the users always trust some files or something, and then the physical phishing attack starts. By email spoofing and instant messaging directs users to enter personal information at a fake website which looks like a legitimate website. So next is the Mahakavach app, which is launched by the government of Maharashtra. It is an Android app, and it basically is a real-time digital contact tracing app for the recent COVID-19 situation, and it assists the health authorities in contact tracing, geofencing, the tracking of quarantined and COVID-19 positive patients, and there are some features like selfie attendance, by which the health authorities can seek the attendance of the patients by clicking their selfie. Now, this app will not be accessible to everyone. That means it is, although it is available in the Play Store, but it cannot be accessible to everyone. It is only only the targeted cases like isolated patients and positive COVID-19 positive cases are only able to download and use this Mahakavach app. And this is basically an app by Government of Maharashtra.